Have you ever wondered how the ancient caste system, a social structure that divided society based on occupations, came into existence in India? The answer lies in the rich tapestry of India's ancient history. The earliest references to this intricate social fabric can be found in the sacred Hindu text, the Rig Veda, which dates back to around 1,000 years before the Common Era. The system, known as Varna, was initially a flexible structure. It was based more on one's profession and skills, rather than the circumstances of their birth. A person could be a Brahmin, a scholar, or a Shudra, a servant, based on their abilities and the role they chose in society. This social structure was fluid, with the potential for upward mobility, but this was only the beginning. So it began as a system of social organization, but how did it evolve over time? Stay tuned to unravel the fascinating journey of this complex system. As centuries passed, the caste system in India underwent significant changes. What began as a simple societal division based on occupation gradually morphed into something far more complex and rigid. Initially, the caste system, or Varna, was a fluid construct, allowing individuals to move between different roles depending on their skills and preferences. Over time, however, the dynamics shifted drastically. The once flexible structure began to harden, with birth becoming the determining factor of one's caste. This shift from occupation-based to birth-based caste system marked a significant turning point, fundamentally altering the societal landscape. It was no longer about what you did, but rather who you were born as. As the caste system grew more stratified, it became a deeply entrenched social hierarchy. The Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, each caste found itself locked in its place with little room for mobility. This rigidity had far-reaching consequences, affecting various aspects of life. For instance, access to resources, be it education, wealth, or even basic amenities, was largely dictated by one's caste. The higher castes enjoyed privileged access, while the lower ones often found themselves at the receiving end of systemic discrimination. Social mobility, once a tangible reality, now seemed like a distant dream. The impact of this rigidity was not confined to the tangible aspects alone. It permeated the very psyche of the society, fostering a mindset of discrimination and inequality. The societal fabric was woven with threads of prejudice and bias, creating a tapestry that was as complex as it was perplexing. This change in the caste system was not a random occurrence, but a result of various socio-political factors. The interplay of power, control, and societal norms played a crucial role in shaping this transformation. But the effects of this shift were far from benign. They left an indelible mark on the society, shaping its contours for centuries to come. The caste system, once a mere division of labor, had now transformed into a rigid social hierarchy. The ancient caste system has left a lasting legacy on Indian society. This complex social structure, with its intricate layers of division based on occupation, has had far-reaching implications, affecting every facet of life, from social interactions to economic opportunities and even cultural practices. The caste system's influence permeated social relations, binding individuals to their respective castes from birth. The notion of purity and pollution was deeply ingrained, dictating who could dine with whom, who could marry into which caste, and even who could touch whom. This has resulted in deep-seated prejudices and stereotypes that have persisted for centuries. In terms of economic opportunities, the caste system effectively created a job market where one's profession was predetermined by their caste. This not only limited upward mobility, but also entrenched economic disparity. The upper castes had access to wealth and resources, while the lower castes were often relegated to menial jobs, a pattern that, despite numerous reforms, can still be seen today. Cultural practices, too, were significantly influenced by the caste system. Art forms, music, culinary traditions, all were shaped by one's caste. Each caste had its distinct cultural practices, and these practices often served to reinforce caste identities. The system also influenced religious practices, with certain rituals and temples being accessible only to specific castes. Over the centuries, there have been numerous attempts to challenge and reform the caste system. Visionaries like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar fought for the rights of the marginalized Dalits, advocating for social and economic equality. The Indian Constitution, adopted in 1949, abolished untouchability and discrimination on the grounds of caste, paving the way for affirmative action policies. Yet, the legacy of the caste system is so deeply entrenched that it continues to shape society in subtle and not so subtle ways. The echoes of the ancient caste system can still be heard today, shaping social relations and cultural practices in ways that continue to affect millions. The caste system's legacy is a complex tapestry woven into the fabric of Indian society, reminding us of a past that continues to influence the present. In the span of just a few minutes, we've traced the origins and evolution of the ancient Indian caste system. What began as a practical division of labor transformed into a deeply entrenched social hierarchy. This system, once fluid, became rigid over centuries, influencing countless aspects of daily life. Today, its legacy endures, shaping the contours of modern Indian society. The caste system, a social phenomenon born thousands of years ago, still reverberates in the echoes of modern Indian society, a testament to the power of history and the imprint it leaves on the present.